What's going on, everyone? I am back today to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle event, Phase 2 upcoming, as well as some statistics on how good those adventures are by people who are way smarter than myself, as well as what I'm going to be doing with your currency, or my currency, rather. So, for those of you that don't know, this is part 1 of part 2 for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle event. The second phase will be in September. So, first things first, guys. You could save till September if you want, but that is like at least 2 months away. That's kind of a long time. And there are a lot of people that will just not be playing the game in 2 months. So before we talk about anything in regards to value or what you should be doing in terms of progressing your account, there is a lot of people who should just pick up these adventures and use your currency just because it's time to have some fun. Okay, so get that out of the way. September is a long ways away. At least 2 months, but probably more like 2.5 months. I doubt it'd be at the beginning of September. So just something to keep in mind that you do have to wait a while. And these games, they don't have like a crazy long lifespan, but just something to think about. That said, this will include all 4 turtles. So you're going to be able to get access to Raphael and Leo, as well as the 2 new ones here. Oh, is it Donatello and what is the other one, guys? Donatello and Michelangelo. There we go. Okay, we got it. Donatello, Michelangelo is the other 2. According to this Reddit post, which I frequent the Reddit, this is made by one of the mods in the Reddit here. They claim that Leo is the best pure DPS adventure, and they give us a little bit of a chart here to kind of describe the power curve up above. So with this here, you can see that their comparison in terms of kind of damage potential between the Dragon Girl and Leo, which again, Leo was shown as the best and highest damage potential option. If you're going to consider some other weapons outside of the Sky Splitter or Whisper, this might change a little bit. But Leo versus the Dragon Girl, you could see that there wasn't really any advantage to using Leo until you hit 10 stars, actually. Well, I mean, you break even at 8 stars, but then at 10 stars, you finally get, and it's quite significant, a big bonus for Leo. So Leo, in the long run, is going to be your best option. But again, remember, we have this event, and then we have phase 2 in September. Are you going to be able to get to 10 stars, free to play or low spender? Almost guaranteed. I'm just going to say guaranteed no. Okay, you might be able to get to 3 or 4 or even like 5 stars, I could see. But guess what? Dragon Girl is significantly better even at 5 stars. Now, if you're a free-to-play player, you probably don't have Dragon Girl extremely upgraded unless you've been playing for a while. So you might be in the 3 to 4 star range. I'm curious how far a lot of you free-to-play players have gone into the Dragon Girl so far from playing from the start and really managing well. But I wouldn't imagine that you're getting a major upgrade from Leo, even if you're investing all of your gems to get all of the smoke bombs and roll all of the different smoke bombs to get the shards for Leo. That is a pretty big opportunity cost, because not only are you spending all of those on a mythic adventure that you may never be able to upgrade again, because we don't know when the event is going to come back around after phase 2, but also all the things you could have purchased in the shop and with those gems to progress your build in other ways. If you're looking at the Sky Splitter, well, Leo actually gets quite a bit better quicker. You can see here the damage potential for the Leo here is quite a bit higher initially with a couple of stars. So this, if you're a Sky Splitter user, you may want to actually consider picking up Leo, because again, even at the 2nd star, which 1 star is pretty given, and I'll explain that in just a moment as we talk about what I'm going to use my resources for. But as you hit the 2 and 3 star range, you're actually getting a pretty big bump. And again, although Dragon Girl is going to be at least the same or a little bit better in the earlier stages until you reach rank 10 for both of these, well, what's nice about it is you are really going to bump up your damage for the temporary bonus that Leo's going to give you in the short term if you haven't upgraded your Dragon Girl a ton. So it is a consideration for that. But let's talk about what we're going to be using our resources for. Now that we know that Dragon Girl, for the most part, is just going to be better for the vast majority of the game, are you going to be able to jump ahead by picking up a couple of stars and outpace your Dragon Girl progression and then slowly build the Dragon Girl progression up over time? Is that going to give you more resources? Well, what can we purchase with the shop? Let's check it out. All right, so now we're into the event here, and we got the crafting tokens, we got the smoke bombs, guys. These are what you're earning with the tasks and the ability to pick up some more crafting vouchers with your gems here. You can pick up quite a few of them, as you can see here. You can really utilize a ton of your gems, which it is good to some degree, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Popping into the exchange top, we've talked about the Leonardo and the Raphael tokens here, and of course the tokens you can acquire at the bottom. You should be acquiring quite a few of these right now just by the hidden vaults that you're utilizing. If you didn't know, the hidden vaults that you can get from getting the little red banner here up to the max amount, you're going to get access to a bunch of additional shards. I don't really know where I'm at here. Ooh, I don't even remember where to take a peek here. There we go. 19 for Raphael for me and 1 for Leo. Leo is going to be a lot harder to acquire for the progression of your game. And remember, Raphael, at least of the current moment, has been less than impressive in terms of the masterminds behind the game actually testing. Again, I don't have the capability to buy all these. I am just trusting in the guidance that the community is coming up with right now, in that Raphael isn't really worth it, and that Leo has been the choice for a lot of the major builds, Whisperer, Sky Splitter, things like that, that a lot of people are already utilizing. So if you're trying to go for Leo, it's going to be a lot tougher to get his shards. So while yes, you could pick up a bunch of gem expenditure and take all these characters as far as you can in Leo's case, it's going to require you to spend a ton of gems. And you probably aren't going to get a big return on investment, because by the time you've spent all of these gems, you're going to have to pick up the Leonardo tokens. And you can see here, I've already spent 400 of these crafting tokens, and I could pick up another 1800, which essentially would be 4 times the stuff I have here. So if you're going to just take this as a example sample size, I could go and pull the math on this, but just as a quick example here, we are probably gonna end up with what, 2400 heavy punch badges on top of this. So another 2400 you could spend if you were to utilize all of your gems, which, remember, each 200 is 12,000. So you're looking at times 9, which looks to be about, what is that, 108,000 gems. So 108,000 would get you a total of 2400 additional heavy punch badges, which would equate to, well, you can pretty much already pick up one of these purchases with just doing the tasks here. This should give you enough crafting tokens for the most part to get close to. But let's say you're going to pick up a Leonardo full 60. So you can get Leonardo plus, like, well, you're going to get 2400. I already have, 1,000 or so, probably closer to 1400. So an extra 2400 is going to get you maybe a 2nd star on Leonardo, right? So you get 2 stars on Leonardo, or a 1 star on Leonardo. That's about it as a free-to-play player that has already accumulated a mass reserve of gems. That's your opportunity here. And another note, you've probably already acquired a ton of Raphael tokens in the hidden vault. So the other option you have is just to pick up the Raphael tokens and not spend the remainder of your gems and heavy punch badges on trying to pick up the mass amount of shards that you need. Because remember, you're probably going to need these 60 shards from Leonardo, which would require 2400 heavy punch badges, or at least close to it. Probably not quite as many. If you get lucky with Leonardo, obviously you're going to get better rates, because remember, the hidden vault is going to give you a decent chance to pick up some Leonardo tokens. You can see here the reward probabilities are way lower for Leonardo, which is why it's so much more difficult to pick him up versus the Raphael. But you could go that direction. In theory, it's going to give you a little bit of a bonus. Assuming you're a free-to-play player and have a lower Dragon Girl, you can pick up the extra stars of Leonardo and maybe go that direction. You can even save resources to go all in on Leonardo for phase 2. But I don't recommend it. I think the only people that should be going for the Mythic adventure in Leonardo are the whales, are the people that are going to spend a bunch of money. Here's what I'm going to be doing with my resources. I am going to be going for as many 1-star options as I can. Why 1-star options for these Mythic adventurers? Well, in your Mythic Adventurer tab, you'll notice that for each of the enhancements here, when you get the first star, you're going to boost the adventurer's attack, which is this right here, this stat, by 25%. And this is applied to all adventurers. This also applies to Leonardo and Raphael. So the common strategy right now is to push for the 1-star on Raphael or Leonardo. This is the goal because this is going to give you permanent bonuses. And realistically, 1-star for both Leonardo and Raphael, you could spend all your gems, but really I'm probably going to lean towards just Raphael because Leonardo is so expensive. And then when phase 2 comes around, I will be doing whatever is easiest between Michelangelo or Donatello to pick up those guys when they come at 1-star. Assuming one of them is going to be easier than the other, similar to how Raphael and Leonardo are going to be working right now. Or maybe Leonardo is easy too, and I can save some of those shards I've already acquired on phase 2 to pick up that 1-star then. And then 3-star is the next all adventurer bonus, and that's going to be pretty out of range for most people, especially since you could just go with the 1-star bonus that you're already collecting as a start. Maybe you can go for the 3rd star on Raphael just because Raphael is the easiest to acquire right now, but I would recommend just going with the 1-star on Raphael because it's easiest. Get that bonus for your adventure in Dragon Girl, which you should still be using. Save the rest of your resources or pick up some key upgrades from the store. The best ones, in my opinion, from this exchange shop. Again, these are considering your heavy punch badges because the red jackets don't really apply in this scenario. You can pick up some heavy punch badges from here, but probably isn't worth it. For the heavy punch badges here, the ones that I'm really looking at realistically are like the legendary gem chest, the mythic blessing, maybe the blessing synergy scroll. A lot of these epic legacy limited brand, the weapon selection boxes, they're good, and I would also suggest those as well if you are definitely earlier on into the game. But one of these boxes, when you're super mid to late game, aren't going to really change the whole game for you, and it's probably worth to preserve the unique resources that we're getting from this event for the unique adventures that we're going to be getting for this event. And remember, phase 2 is more than likely to offer enough resources to get another mythic adventure for free. And who knows how strong Michelangelo or Donatello will be. Maybe they'll synergize with specific weapons more so than these ones to where you want to go those directions for those resources. And again, if that's you and you're looking at these and you're like, hey, I've got a weapon that maybe doesn't work with Raphael or Leonardo, so I'm going to pause on this and maybe hope that the weapon or the mythic adventures that are in phase 2, Donatello, Michelangelo, are going to be better for me. But again, remember, it's unlikely for you to really go hardcore unless you are a whale in the game and able to spend a ton of money to get to the stage where it really starts to outshine the Dragon Girl. Because right now, Dragon Girl is just the catch-all for every build, with the exception of maybe some Durian users with Wukong out there. So just something to keep in mind. So the current plan, TLDR guys, what am I doing with my currency? What am I looking at for my account as someone who's a low spender in the game, just the lifetime card and the ad-free card, which is what a lot of people are actually at right now, and still in what I would consider the early mid-game. I've got Dragon Girl. I have Dragon Girl at 1-star or 0 stars right now, which means I still have some progression to have. And technically, if I were to get Leo to 2 stars to 3 stars, that type of range, I would be outpacing Dragon Girl. But it seems like a temporary bonus that might only increase my progression by 1 to 2 stages. So, keeping Dragon Girl, not going to bother with changing my mythic adventure to Leonardo or Raphael. I'm going to be going for 1-star on Raphael, and then I'm going to be saving all of my heavy punch badges for phase 2 for the remainder of the event, because it's more than likely that the purchasing power of my heavy punch badges are going to reset. So these 2 are going to reset, and I might be able to pick up another Leonardo or Raphael. I don't know if I want to spend all my gems, because again, that is all of my gems on maybe a Leonardo. Like, that's it right now. I don't think I will be doing that. I'm just going to go for the 1-star Raphael. And then the remainder heavy punch badges I'm saving. Red jackets I'm going to use as per typical. Pick up my epic legacy. Pick up, my inheritance books. I'm just going to spend these as if I just, got a new event and I needed to spend it before it overcame. Will I be using any of my gems? I probably won't, because it's more than likely that this entire chance to purchase is going to stay in effect for the phase 2. And even though it's 2 months away and I could technically regain all those gems in the meantime, could I be using those gems on a big adventure to progress my Dragon Girl? Could I be using those on a Mystic Seed to get Arcana? Could I be using those on treasure teams? Probably. So just going to go for 1-star Raphael. That's pretty much it. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I think most people should be doing if you're free to play, low spender. And don't even worry about the minor bonus that you might be able to get from Leonardo. It is just a little bit too difficult to get. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. What are you going to be doing? I know I talked a lot about this video, but I enjoy talking about Capybara, so sue me. Sue me, guys. It is what it is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.